All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Chicago Bulls versus Cleveland Cavaliers recap video. Now, Cleveland, they fell short at Chicago tonight, and this was a much-needed win for the Bulls after they've lost 4 straight basketball games. Still no Zach LaVine, still no Lonzo Ball, but DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic. Then you had great games by Dosunmu, great game by White. Caruso's back. Things are starting to trend upward for the Chicago Bulls. Got a tough test in a couple of days against the Milwaukee Bucks. But for Cleveland, they had just come off 5 straight victories, a tough road trip, and then just had a great win on MLK Day on Monday against the Brooklyn Nets. I know they're without KD, but they still got Harden, they still got Kyrie. Tough loss. This was definitely a tough loss for Cleveland. Not everyone was really ready to go. Not really everyone was ready to go. It was definitely a hard-fought game from both sides, but Lauri Markkanen got his return in Chicago, and boy, I think he had a career high tonight, almost dropped 30 points. Great game from him. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, they did all they could, but outside of that, there just wasn't much scoring production. For the Chicago Bulls, DeMar DeRozan, especially in that third quarter, fourth quarter, that man just steps on the gas. Just completely steps on the gas. DeMar tonight, I almost said 60 points. 30 points, 7 assists. I really like that. I was late in the game, and the Bulls were up a couple, and DeMar DeRozan, I think he had Caruso on him. He gets to the lanes, got, what would be a somewhat contested layup. He could... Most likely he's making that layup, kicks it out to Nikola Vucevic, who at the time had yet to make a 3. Vucevic in that corner, he just splashes it. So before we go any further into this video, if you guys enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button, post pretty much daily videos for both of these teams here, post daily NBA content. This was just a huge win for the Chicago Bulls, man. Huge win. Like I said, you're without Lonzo, you're without Zach LaVine, and the team's they've been playing some really good basketball teams as well, keep that in mind, but they just haven't been clicking. They just haven't been clicking, and then the games where they start to click, they're just not finishing it. And so tonight, you play Cleveland, who, just yesterday, they only had, they were only, a game and a half outside of the first seed? Cleveland is a hell of a basketball team. They have a great defensive personnel. So really, JB got ejected relatively early on to the game as well, but great game from the Bulls. Dosunmu. I just have so much praise for this guy. He is stepping up right now. He's been stepping up ever since he's been given a shot in the rotation. And really, I think what Billy Donovan saw in Dosunmu was his defense is phenomenal. Really, his defense is absolutely phenomenal. And with the return of Alex Caruso tonight, Alex didn't have a great offensive game, only having two makes. Finished plus 18. Alex Caruso literally plus 18, team high. And he only scored, 4 points? 9 points, had 4 free throws. Caruso and Dosunmu on the bench, when everyone is good and healthy, that's going to be deadly. Then you throw Coby White into that mix, and we're going to be even better. I still anticipate the Chicago Bulls making a move. I'm still not quite sure what they're going to do, but I would imagine at least one of Coby White and Patrick Williams is going to be traded towards the trade deadline, unless for some reason nothing comes to fruition. I would anticipate at least one of those players. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if both of them got traded. Coby White's been playing really good basketball, though, so maybe they hold on to him. Either way, I'm enjoying every game we have with Coby White. I'm kind of treating it like you never know. You never know what might happen. Until we get to the trade deadline, I'm going to just sit back and enjoy Coby White. This man plays with so much energy, plays with so much effort that I used to be kind of worried about the bench squad, and then once everyone got healthy, and then once we kind of figured out that we have this absolute steal in Ayo Dosunmu, everything's starting to feel good now. And I also really like Tony Bradley. I like the defensive presence he brings as well, and it's not like offensively he's not going to do anything for you. He'll do enough that he'll do what he has to do. So once we get DJ back, once we get all these guys back, that bench mop should be a lot deeper. So outside of that, DeMar really kind of stole the show. Coby White, Dosunmu, literally Dosunmu, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 7 of 8 from the field, and his 1 miss was from downtown. Other than that, he shot 3 of 4 from downtown. Like I said, when it gets to the fourth quarter, even if we were fully healthy, man, Dosunmu might just be a closer. I think he's kind of showing himself right now that he should be a star in the NBA. at the very least, he's going to be an extremely useful, extremely versatile, because of his defense, role player. I mean, that's at the absolute worst. And I think coming into the season, there weren't like crazy expectations for him. I think a lot of us kind of knew, if you watched him at U of I think a lot of us kind of knew he was probably, if he was given the opportunity, I think that was like the big thing, is if he's given the opportunity, and with Kobe White's injury, he's got his opportunity, he can produce, and he can help finish these games. He can help come off the bench. He can start when he needs to. But it's just so crazy that it's this early on. He's proven himself to be one of the best younger players, one of the best rookies in the entire NBA right now. I think you could actually 100% make an argument that Dosunmu was the steal of the draft. I mean, second round. I mean, this is going to be a really fun career for Ayo Dosunmu. And then it's just he added on that he is a Chicago boy and he went to U of I. It's just even more cool. So really good game from Chicago. They played defense when they needed to. From Cleveland's side, Cleveland, it's just some nights 14 turnovers for him tonight. Tonight I felt like their youngness kind of showed. You do have some veterans, like no Rondo tonight, but you do have Kevin Love. But for the most part, this team is extremely young. I mean, you look at the starting lineup: Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Isaac Okoro, Lauri Markkanen. It's an extremely young lineup that's kind of trying to, especially for guys like Darius, Jared, and Lauri, they're kind of transcending into the players that they're striving to be. And some nights it's just not going to get done. Some nights it's just not going to get done. They shot efficiently from the field. Couldn't really get it going from downtown. Only 9 threes. So Terrence Ross, Joe Harris, Karis LeVert was rumored today. I would not be surprised one bit if the Cleveland Cavaliers were to trade a guy like Ricky Rubio, because he's, they don't have him for next year. He's on an expiring contract. I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised if you saw Ricky Rubio gone. I wouldn't even be surprised if you saw Colin Sexton gone. I mean, Isaac Okoro, in the fourth quarter tonight, I thought he really showed up again. But outside of the fourth quarter, Isaac Okoro didn't really do much. I didn't really even notice him out on the court sometimes. But defensively, especially in that fourth quarter, he had like back-to-back stops against DeMar DeRozan late in the fourth quarter when it was a closer game. And I'm pretty big on him. And then once you start seeing kind of like the offense take form, you start thinking in your head, like, is Isaac Okoro a better future piece than Colin Sexton? Because Colin Sexton, in 2 years from now, he's going to want a bag. He's going to want a fat bag. Maybe if Cleveland is coming off a championship or they're getting close to a championship, maybe he'd take like a slight pay cut, but I'm thinking no more than like $2-3 million, $5 million at the absolute most. So, for Cavs Nation right now, it might be time to start thinking, as hell of a player as Sexton is, as great of a scorer as Sexton is, if he's not playing the rest of the year, do you unload him now? Do you unload him next season? I don't really know what the deal is going to be with Colin Sexton, but, I really liked the game Lauri Markkanen played tonight. He was doing everything. Yeah, he made 5 threes, but he was doing everything. He was posting dudes up. He was scoring in the paint. He had a great game for him. But for Cleveland, you're not going to win them all. And the expectations for Cleveland are very low. They're very, very low. I predicted them to win tonight's basketball game. I think like in the Discord or something like that. So just not always going to have it every single night. Only 104 points for them. But hopefully as they start to get pieces like Rajon Rondo, hopefully that kind of gets that bench going, because outside of Kevin Love, the bench was pretty much non-existent, like just extremely non-existent. I guess you could say the same thing for the Chicago Bulls, but for the most part, outside of Kevin Love, I think, what was it? Brandon Goodwin played an efficient couple of minutes, only 4 points for him. Dylan Windler had a nice 3 in like the first quarter, 5 points, and then Cedi Osman's been just shooting horribly. Cedi Osman is going through a real rough patch right now, so that's it for today, guys. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit that sub button. I'll see you guys later.